don't like feet, we don't like inches, we are here working with meters only.
But the only point I'm making is when you go to measure a boat and you're looking for an equivalent measurement for perhaps an old record, an old certificate, if it came from a US fleet or
Yeah.
it may be an imperial unit.
It may be, but yeah, I'm sorry, I will also show you within the IMS editor there is simply button that convert all the units from imperial to metric, and then you continue to work on manual. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. In metric system, all measurements shall be in meters to 3 decimal places, so up to millimeters, except the same measurements shall be to 2 places of decimal, and weight shall be in kilograms to 1 decimal place. So IMS is used, as we are also saying yesterday, to generate ORS International or ORS Club certificate. ORS International, you need all the measurements taken, recorded by the measurer, and everything measured. The only thing that is, I would say, optional is mass weight and mass center of gravity, as we said. If you measure it, it's better for your rating, but it's not absolutely needed to be measured, because some of the mass are quite difficult sometimes to take out the mass and to measure it. But most of the, let's say, of the top or racing boats are doing this, and even I'm always suggesting, whenever there is new boat, please call me before you step the mast so we can measure the mast. And I don't know if you don't have here any mast. I didn't see that there is any mast not on the boat staying somewhere in marina. Just to show you, it will probably be easier.
The important thing is that if the mass can be weighed, it needs to be done by a measurer anyway.
Of course.
Not to accept the manufacturer.
And this is of course because the first thing, the manufacturer data are mostly doing with tube only, without spreaders, and then it's different, and then we will show you when you weighing the mast, you need to have everything, spreaders, shrouds, forestay, backstay, everything all together. And then RC Club data, as we said, can be measured, declared by the owner, or obtained from any other source, including photos, drawings, and/or data from identical or similar boats. My recommendation, depending from country to country, the policy you want to set up. I would also say, I can tell you for Croatia, we are doing, measurers are taking risks and sales. For the even for RC Club. Mostly, at the beginning we also tried. We said, okay, the owners can do by himself. But mostly the problem is that they simply do not know what they are doing. I mean, it's a bit complicated for them, for average. Then they start to do it. They misread it. They misinterpret it. So they said, okay, let's do it by the measure. Then it's always depending on the rating officer to check the data and to be sure. What is correct, what can be completely nonsense, because you can understand it. We will show you also the scale drawing of the boat helps you to see that immediately something is wrong or not. If there is no data, we can go to the similar boat database. If is something still missing, we can still use photos, drawings, and data from basically any other source. And this is all depends on the rating officer how to. And as we said, the idea is always that RC Club will generally give you course rating, and the more you measure, the better your rating is. So how we define compliance with certificate? As generally, if you are using the measurement for a rating system, so you need the numbers to calculate rating. There is no way that you define actually tolerances on the measurement itself. So in the one design, you may have a rule as saying that, I don't know, E measurement shall be between 5.9 and 6.0. And if you are 5.888, you are out of your class rules. If you are 6.001, you are out of your class rules. Here we cannot set up something like this because the number that we need is the number that we are using for the rating calculation. the only possible way to establish the tolerance is tolerance on the rating, on the effect on the rating on each measurement, not just on the measurement itself. But of course, all measured, declared, or recorded values shall be as close as possible to those on the certificate. Differences are allowed only if these values on the certificates are given a pass rate. Basically, what we are doing on the measurement checks during the regatta, or even any measurement check, we remeasure the boat. We use the numbers that we used on the check. We put them in the calculation, and when compare the rating. If the rating is less than 0.1%, if the difference in two rating is no penalty, everything is okay. If the difference is between 0.1 and 0.25%, there is no penalty, but new rating is calculated and applied to whole regatta. And if there is more than 0.25%, then there is a penalty. And we had situations like this last year on the two championships.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
During the regatta, how does this work? Let's say there's a measurement protest.
There is let me explain the procedure we are using on the Bolson Europeans. We start with the day one. In each class, we pick up 3 boats. First is, so we have the boat checking for freeboards. We check the freeboards, we get some numbers. We recalculate the results, the certificate with these numbers, and compare the rating difference.
How does this recalculation happen? Let's say we organize a regatta.
You can either call your rating officer, the one who is doing certificates for you, or you can even, as we showed you yesterday, go into sailor services, pick up that boat, and run to the sailor services the certificate. So you can simply enter one in. Normally, I mean, for the local regattas, depend on the level regattas. To that level of scrutiny, you go to the top nationals, the international event. For the local regatta, you probably don't go. But if you have any problem, you need to have your rating officer sometimes, by phone or email or checking where he is, or you can go by yourself and do it in the sailor service.
But that takes credit.
That takes some credit, yes.
Okay.
The sail area shall be smaller or equal to that printed on the certificate. So as you are searching for the biggest sail of each type, biggest the main sail, the head sail set flying, we'll talk about it, symmetric or asymmetric spinnaker. Theoretically, you may have 2 spinnakers in which one is, let's say, higher but narrower on the middle, and one is smaller but more wider in the middle. And when you compare them, when you compare single measurements, one will have SL bigger, and another one will have SMG bigger. On the end, what you want, you need to compare areas and to understand which one is the biggest. Normally, on the certificate should be the biggest one. It is not a problem if you have the smaller one, if you find a smaller one on the boat. But there is a rule how many sails in total you can have on worldwide racing, and for the championship there is a even more strict rule, because at the beginning of the championship you have to select which sails you will use during this event. One important thing is the crew weight. Crew weight is a part of the certificate because it obviously affects your rating. It gives you the weight to additional riding moment on the crew. It can be either declared by the owner, or if not, then it's used as default. Whatever is declared, or whatever the number is, the total crew of the weight of the crew on board shall not be greater than this number. And here, this is the only thing, this is not the question of recalculating, as I was saying before. This is very simple. You put 700 kilos, if you have 701, you are out. I mean, it's because it is up to the owner to declare. And I'm always saying to the owner, if you want, take your crew, add some margin to be sure, because we will check you after the race, and if we find you that you are above your number, you are out. And we had a situation like this in Parnu. There was a Finnish boat that was found some 11 kilos in total out. Even saying, or in Barcelona there was also, I think, German crew said, but yeah, but we had nice dinner yesterday. It was nice, pizza and beer. We said, dinner was maybe good, but sorry guys. Yeah, the rule is the rule. So and then this is particularly, because as I said, on the checks on the big championship, when we pick 3 boats, we go 1 boat goes for the free boats and possibly inclining, 1 go for all the sail measurement check, and 1 go to the crew weight. Of course, we can talk later about the accuracy of the scale for the crew weight and the way how this can be difficult, and you can always take this into account. But if you find some total crew weight 11 or 20 kilos above, then you are pretty much sure that there is no accuracy of the scale, that something is wrong. But just be careful, because sometimes people are saying, okay, but then you recalculate me my certificate and I will give less than 0.1%. This is not the case, because the owner can declare, and if the owner can declare, the owner can declare with sufficient margin to be on the safe side.
Stop there.
Yeah.
One question on the last picture, please.
Yeah.
Last bullet point 1. The sales inventory shall include the largest head sail set of the foresail. All head sail sets flying.
Yeah.
Does that also include staysails?
Yes, although the staysail, inner staysail, I mean the staysail that is set up within the inner triangle,
Yep.
is basically currently in the VPP rating-wise completely free.
Yeah.
But there is a rule that's saying that if you have such a it is a limit,